2.5 minutes. And the home sales news has overarchingly not been good. Both buyers and sellers not interested. Not a lot of home buyers, not a lot of home sellers. There's definitely more sellers than buyers, but not a lot of people are looking to transact business when it comes to homes. Is that like 12-year highs or? The DOM is also very visual, Jason. It's just more about current price, not what price did in the past. The DOM is extremely visual. You get caught more into what price is doing right now, not so much what it did in the past. Well, the delta is still fading. We had a nice pop here off this lower band, and after 2 minutes of buying, it's just been slowly selling. It seems like the selling is slowing down. No, maybe not. Yeah, I'm never selling my current house, Jake. If I buy something new, I'm keeping this one because I'm never giving up this interest rate. Free money. Let's see what happens down here again, guys. But it sure seems like a downtrend. Let's see if it balances out. I might try and take another stab at this one down here. I still like it. Long at 15.25. Beauty. 10 points.
10 seconds. Three spot 3%, 3 spot 3%, which is higher than forecast, 0.75%. The index at 79.2, 79.2.
All higher than previous. Doesn't seem to be affecting much. I mean, we're right there, Badger. I wouldn't split hairs over a couple of points on NQ. There's really not that big of a difference between 707 and 706 on NQ. Might have missed the trade. Nice. Yeah, that was a good long spot. Still like it, right? The RSI is telling us balance here. We're starting to see a more defined distribution on the profile. All right, we could hang out here for a while. We'll see what happens. You're back.
We have posted US penny themselves November 2025 reports on the feed for those interested. Spot gold.
Well, I can tell you the the delta isn't looking all that appealing for longs right here. Still very weak on the delta. We're pretty much at the lows on the delta. Not a lot of buyers showing up here. But that could change at any moment, as we know. As we continue to hold this level, we could get a flush of it and reclaim. We can go back down to that monthly VWAP. We don't know what's going to happen. We trade if this, then that scenarios. Like to see buyers buy up this level again. I'll get involved. Until then, I'm flat. Well, it's a little past the 10 o'clock hour. How's everybody trading this morning? Let's do a little bit of a trader check-in. Trading the plan. Still very weak here on the delta. We up, we down, we sideways. No trades. Wheels falling off the bus. We got some buyers stepping in here. I'm long at 12 3/4. Let's see if we can get some continuation. We're pounding it. I don't know. Might lose this level. There we go. Active point of control. Buyers are getting pounded. I'm out. Flat. Been out. We're holding the lower band RTH, the Globex band. Right, essentially in the same spot here. Delta is very weak. If we lose this level, it could be dramatic.
Again, did mention earlier, pressure might be taken a little bit.
We do have a bit of a descending triangle, which shows that they're working on this level. The sellers are working on this level. It is a low volume area, at least on the developing. No position. All right, I'm going to try and maybe take the short here. The continuation. Might not make it that easy. We'll see. There was a lot of buyers down there. Nice. Now, the auction is saying down. Yeah, let me add the new CVD. So it's got short term. I want to change it to short term, adaptive. It's got divergences, which are really cool. It's really powerful. I haven't had much time to play with it yet. But there's a lot of calculations in this little CVD. Got the rate of change meter. So if you guys want to read up on all this stuff, there's a ton of they really broke it down. There's a ton of content here to read about how it works. Well documented instruction guide. So check that out if you haven't and you have some reading to do. I'll eventually do it's not a MACD, LJ. The VWAP Wave MACD. I'm not going to put it on my chart yet, guys, because I need to be more well versed with it before I'm going to integrate it with my trading. And NQ back at monthly VWAP here. Try and take another stab at it.
There are reports from Interfax that Ukraine tried to attack Putin's residence in the Novgorod region. TASS citing Russia's Lavrov says that Russia will retaliate.
You think we get continuation to the downside?
And that Russia will change its negotiating position.
Nice, Donald.
Interfax does note though that Russia will keep negotiating against they'll change their negotiating.
It's been straight down since that 10-minute push out of the open. Looks like we're heading back to session lows here. Oh, Tony, you sleeping? You probably up late watching football, weren't you? I can never watch those night games, man. I wake up naturally at 5 a.m. I can't stay up. I don't even need an alarm. It'll screw me all up. So did try the continuation short break into price discovery, but now we're back at this monthly VWAP, which has played a pretty key level so far. I think it is probably a good spot for longs. We could flush it hard, so just mind your risk. We take trades, not everything works. We are basing a little bit on the delta. But it does look like if we break below this, we can see some serious downside. So be cautious. Got some buyers down here, which is not all that crazy. It is the session low. You're definitely going to find both buyers and short covering at the session low. He's working his other job. All right, let's see what happens down here. Oh, we are at monthly VWAP here, Badger. This is where I'm looking to go long. Per the trading system of the room that you're in. About 20 points here. I'm going to close it out because that's lower band. Especially at the end of the month, the monthly VWAP can be very powerful. Well, that was a beautiful level right there. $40 points. Nice, LJ. Good trade. Back to point of control. Well, point of control on trading view. Point of control on Ninja Trader is up by 800. This is value area low, actually. So if there'll be continuation to the downside, this is probably where sellers would want to hammer it. I'll be right back. So Badger, just real quick, one of the rules of the trading room is to try and keep your trade callouts in line with the system that we trade here. So I don't mind other variations or things that play into it, but it's got to be on topic. We don't want to create confusion because we're all trading the same system here. No, of course. No apology needed. Just reframing, framing it for you just so you understand. So I'm not surprised, guys. We have very tight VWAP bands here, guys. About 100 points. It still feels like a balanced market to me here. Yep, of course, Badger. Glad to have you here. Really. There could be a couple of different reasons, William. That's all discussed in the FAQ. I encourage you, if you guys are experiencing different levels, to go through the FAQ. Could be you're not adjusting for the contract rollover. You might not have enough candles on the lower time frames to get a proper monthly VWAP calculation. So there could be a couple of different things to troubleshoot. But generally, it's usually this button isn't on right down here. Back adjust to adjust for the rollover period. That's usually the main culprit. The second culprit is generally you don't have a high enough trading view subscription to load enough candles. Like if you're on the 2-minute, you need a month's worth of 2-minute candles loaded in order to get a proper VWAP calculation for the month. So that's usually the second culprit. Ooh, good to know. LJ, 700. All right, so we could chop around 700. And it kind of lines up with where we're at right now in terms of high volume. So while things are a little slower here, guys, we have over 350 people on the wait list for the inner circle. We opened it last week. 350 people have applied. Last time we had over 530 on the wait list. So if you're interested, I'm running a free class tomorrow. We're going to be talking about some things relating to the VWAP Wave System and the inner circle. I'm going to post the link here in the chat if anybody's interested in applying for the wait list. So Simon, last time we did 25 spots. Actually, it was supposed to be 15, and the 15 spots filled in 48 hours. So we opened it up to 25, and then we capped it at that. We'll probably do something similar. Well, the whole idea is to be a small group environment, really tight-knit group. We call it a cohort because you guys are going to be with each other intensively for 12 weeks, meeting at least 3 times a week, trading together, learning together, crying together. And then the 12-week intensive rolls into a 12-month ongoing mastery cycle. It's essentially a lifetime membership. Once you're in, you're in. Well, I feel like that would, it's like the mafia, right? Once you're in, you can't get out, you can't leave. Lots of crying. The branding. That was an epic long spot, guys. For anybody who got long at monthly VWAP, I took it for 20 points, a little over 20 points, but for anybody who goes for bigger moves, man, that played out nice. Higher time frame level right there. Yep. It looks like it rejected it, David. At least initially. Over 10 point rejection on your VWAP. It's also an extension on the IB. We're going to have an initial balance here in about 6 minutes. And we'll probably be right around IB mid when that happens. Another potential balance day where we stay inside the initial balance for the entire session, maybe. We'll see. I'll be right back.
This time now at the bottom of the hour. This is going to the weekly EIA inventories report. So crude oil inventories forecasted a draw of 2 million on the prior draw of 1.274 million. The range is a draw of 1 million to a draw of 3 million expected. Gasoline inventories forecast a build of 1.1 million, prior build of 4.808 million. Distillate inventories forecast a build of 1 million on prior build of 1.712 million. And crude cushioning inventories, the prior was a draw of 0.742 million.
Nice, Roadrunner. I like that you're still getting in the reps, man. It's the way to do it. Practice. All right, we're back at VWAP here. In a balanced market, this could be a good place to grab a quick short, but the delta's now, taking a very different tune here. See if it plays out a little bit. I'll take a little nibble. I'll get out if it doesn't work. Nice. I'll take that. Well, that was nice. Yeah, I'm usually looking to get out at least, at the VWAP. And that would actually be a long hold for me. I'm more of a scalper. If I get 40, 50 points, that's a big trade for me generally. But I take a lot of trades. There's a lot of setups. I also use relatively bigger size. Well, welcome everybody who's new to the group. This actually might be one of our most attended streams to date. Several hundred between YouTube and the Discord. Welcome to everybody who's new. Hopefully you find a home here. Was it, Tony? I don't usually pay that close attention when I'm trading, but Tony's an OG, more like the OG one bad trader, OGT. And if anybody held that long from monthly VWAP, Yeah, it's grinding in. This could be a grinder from here unless we see some sellers step in. It could happen. We'll be patient. We'll wait. All the precious metals after silver kind of capitulated here to the upside, up here at 82. Man, it's just been down. This was a nice long if anybody grabbed it. That would have been epic. We pointed it out right at the open. LVN, monthly upper band. $250 tick bounce. It's not stuck. Silver's not stuck. It's moving to me. Do you have the proper data feed for it? What are you looking at it on? I don't know. That's fine. Well, is this the grind up? We do have an LVN right here. Both intraday and composite. So this could be an interesting spot to scalp a short. If we get any more continuation, there we go. I'm sure at 65 and a quarter. It's about 10 points right there. Jake's watching silver now. Jake's a silver trader now, guys. H. SIH or SILH if you want to trade the micro. SIH or SILH. Look at that. That was a great level to wait for. So that was a LVN both on the composite and on the developing profile. Generally just through Monday, personally. By Tuesday, we'll have a new weekly VWAP to focus on. The levels could still pan out, but there's only, how much do we try to pay attention to before it just gets out of hand? All right, here's IB mid. IB mid, somewhat of a point of control, and VWAP all within 10 points. What does that tell us, guys? Balance. So we could see a bit of a traffic jam here. This could provide support, revisit the highs. We can go back to the lows, right? This is coin flip proposition right here. There's scalping opportunities in this area, but directionally, this is a very difficult area to trade. All right, found a little support there at VWAP. Things have slowed down dramatically. As we approach the 11 o'clock hour, about 20 minutes away. I'm actually going to grab myself a protein shake, guys, real quick. So I'm going to step back here for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay. Not a whole lot to do here. Silver is going to break out of this. Gold could be a long here. I like gold long. I like gold for the monthly VWAP bounce here. This is monthly VWAP right here. My thoughts, Jake, that it's spending a lot of time here. So I don't really see acceptance back into value yet. Now it looks like it rejected again. See if gold holds up here. I want to see it hold up 43. NQ back down. Balance. Sellers have entered the chat on NQ. Delta's back down to its lows. All of these buyers can get flushed out. See? Not in a hurry to buy this. Not yet, anyway. A little early. All right, coming back down to value area low here. But sellers are very aggressive, aren't they? I will wait. Coming back down. 664 is monthly VWAP and IB low. Might not get there. Let's see. We want to see it stay below this 84 from where downside. Retest. Monthly. I still like that as a buy spot. Above 84. Gold retesting monthly VWAP here. This could very well be a longer term trade. Balance continues. Essentially, this has been price. Jupe, jupe, jupe. This is all we've done for 90 minutes. I could see us doing something like this. Order boss, good. I like that you're explaining your trades. Anybody who's trading, explaining their trades. Win, lose, or draw, right? Talk through your trades. What did you do right? What did you do wrong? Maybe you executed perfectly and it just was a loser. Happens all the time. I took one this morning, right? I would take this trade again. How do you know? You should get to a point where you're taking trades, and even if it's a loser, you would still take that trade again, right? Because it was a setup, it was valid, it just didn't work, right? That's where you guys need to get to with your trading. Losers are okay. Trades don't always work. If you follow the process, follow the system, you're okay with it. You're okay with losing trades, right? Because I would have taken that trade. We spent hours in price discovery to the downside. It was the first test of VWAP. I'm taking that trade every single time. I just took the return. The magical indicator. It is a magical indicator. It works really, really well. It's exciting, actually, how well it works. I wouldn't call it a return to value, guys. I think it's still a fade value or extreme. We haven't really left value for it to return to value. So it's still a fade. It's a legit fade value or extreme trade. Nice for anybody who grabbed it. Right. So the Jody's pointing out these are our balance levels, right? These kind of provide really nice insight into where the market can find value, right? And it lined up with value area high pretty close anyway on the volume profile, low volume node here, down here, value area low, lower band. Lots of confluence for the balance. And very similar to Friday, actually. That's great, Cami. That's one thing we talk about in the inner circle is recording ourselves also while we're trading and coaching ourselves, almost like envisioning like, and the more you verbalize what you're doing and why, the better trades you'll take. Because the internal dialogue, right? If there's no dialogue, you tend to get caught into just making impulse. There's a ton of documentation, Leo, in the indicator itself. So watch my screen. If you go to indicators, go to your scripts, invite only, go to the oscillator toolkit and then click on this little button here, read more. And then there's a ton of documentation. Ton. No, Wendy, it's huge. It's massive. In fact, if you think about it, that's what I'm doing here on stream every morning, right? I'm talking through my trades with you guys nonstop. What I'm seeing, my thoughts around it, the context, the setup itself, taking it, where I'm long, where I'm short, getting in, getting out. It's nonstop. And the fact that I can articulate it, right, keeps me in line with the system, right? Because if I'm just doing things that don't align with my trading system, what am I doing? What am I doing here, right? The answer to that is I'm trying my hand at Lady Luck. Some might call it gambling. And if I'm going to gamble, might as well go to the casino. The drinks are free. The girls are prettier. I might even get a comped hotel, free entertainment. I could go see a show. I don't know if Ray is still here. She's been quiet. So when I say the girls are prettier, I don't mean the girls here aren't pretty. That's a straw man argument. Well, when you put it that way, Logger. The girls are done up. They wear dresses. I don't know. I'm going to see my way out of this conversation. So we're going to talk about the CVD. Yeah, right. I was always told if you find yourself digging a hole, find yourself in a hole, stop digging. What was the saying, Sonny? What's the biggest room in the world? The room for improvement. Coiling up tight. So we can continue to trade in this balance area, right? There's no prediction on price here, right? Now that we're continuing to form a balance area, right? We can't judge price until there's acceptance in one direction or the other. And we also need to worry about excess price, right? Where price tries to leave and then just quickly rejects, right? No acceptance. How do we tell the difference? Well, it's really hard, right? You're not going to be able to tell in the first 5-10 minutes. You can take a breakout trade, guys. I'm not going to say there's no breakout trades. It's not a proper setup. There would be like a price discovery breakout trade, right? Just don't get caught in it, right? And you need to manage your risk in some way, shape, or form. So, allow yourself room to be wrong and know when you are wrong. I don't do London. I'm asleep at London. That's like 3 a.m. here. But I do Asia Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. East New York time. But we do have some London traders that will be in the rooms, the voice channels for London. Just no formal stream. If Mustafa goes full time, he might be our London streamer. That would be cool. That could be a potential for this year. You can be drilling for oil at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Is there a reason you have to wake up so early for that? Curious. I'm scared of the sun. Oil theory works best at night. I gotcha. It's probably not helping that oil is what, $58, $57 a barrel right now. 56. I have a cool new ticker in my room where all the tickers come across. Actually, I'm going to get one for the stream where there's going to be a ticker that rolls across the bottom. It'll be cool. I don't know, guys. We're coming back down to the IB low and this level that is held up once, twice, thrice, 4. This will be the fifth. I mean, technically, this could be 5. This would be 6. Yeah, it's starting to base a little bit. There it goes, Jake. Were you patient? Did you grab it? We don't know, Water Boss. We can only play the probabilities. All right, this is a high probability setup, monthly VWAP. It's holding, it's back tested it 3 times. All right, so, and these higher time frame levels can take a while to pan out. Gotta be patient. I remember that guy. $7.08, huh? Not a bad idea. You could have taken, what made you get into it? I can see why you got into it on the RSI tool, Leo. Otherwise, what was your signal or setup to take that trade? Curious. Top monthly band, 21,735. Whoa, 21. That's 4,000 points. Okay. I have it at 939 for upper band. So you're off by a couple hundred points. Could be the usual suspects. All right, you're going to want to check the back adjust down here in the bottom right. Make sure that's on. If you have that on and it's still the same, you might not have high enough trading view package to load enough candles to get the monthly levels on a low time frame like the 2 minute or the 1 minute. So you check it out on a higher time frame like the 30 minute or the hour, see what level it gives you there. Oh. Fortunately, I was going to say, this is still a fade value or extreme from down here, according to the VWAP Wave System. Now, if you guys are doing other things, I don't know what to tell you. But if you can't name the setup, it's probably not a trade. That's the whole reason we have a playbook. Not this looks like it could be a trade because I see some absorption on my indicator. That's not a setup. You want the absorption on your indicator to be in line with an actual setup. I'll give you a fair value gap, LJ. Sometimes you need to get aggressive, Jake, especially when things are this slow. Gold still chopping around here, hovering above monthly upper band. Silver took a little bit of a peek back into initial balance. Nice. JJ took a setup. So these are all fade value area extremes, guys. Now, interestingly, the point of control is lining up with the point of control on the RSI now, right? So this is kind of our balance area. All right, so value area high, value area low, lining up on the profile with the RSI tool. Nice confluence here for balance. We can get past the point of control, we can go back up to VWAP. But until we get past this point of control in this lower volume area here at 730, there will be no VWAP. I'll be right back. So I get a lot of questions. People are like, oh my God, tenacity trading, quant tower, no Tradeovate. Oh my God. As I will trade any platform, anytime, no problem. The buy button and the sell button are the same on every platform. The join bid, join ask is the same. I'll still be charting on TradingView. I'll still have all the same charts. I will just be pressing a button on a different platform. It's not that big of a deal. So everybody needs to calm down with the different platform thing. It's like, it's a lot. Top step, they don't work. That's different. This is true. That was a good one. Sure. IB low on gold, 820, right? 820 to 920. That's our initial balance. 820 New York time. So I have 405, spot one. 405, spot one. Awesome, Badger. Glad to have you here, man. Really. I enjoy the participation. I enjoy the engagement. The more eyes we have watching the market, calling setups, and it's nice when everybody trades the same system, right? Because now we have lots of layers of eyes watching for the same types of setups across multiple products, but also taking a lot of the same trades. Yeah, Quantower is a really nice platform. Absolutely. I'll just be using the DOM. That's all I need. Nice, Wendy. That's what I like to hear. Wendy says, I'm old school. I played Pong as a kid. So did I, actually. We're dating ourselves. I'm game for any platform. I just need to know it in advance so I can run out of the gate on the 12th. That's the attitude. It does not, David. There's no NinjaTrader connection. I asked them that specific question. Apparently you need your own server, a very expensive server, dedicated for Rhythmic to connect to NinjaTrader with all the fees and all these other things. So it's not just, I'm 44, Leo. 45 in June. I don't, LJ. They pointed that out to me too. That might have been the second time I've ever heard of it, LJ. I've been meaning to check it out. I've just been very busy. June 24th. Me too, Josh. Look at that. Same birthday. That's funny. It was a great time to be, because I grew up in New York and it used to almost line up perfectly with the last day of school. So growing up, it was like the best. My birthday, the beginning of summer, and the last day of school, all at the same time. Long Island. Nice. Oh yeah, 4 days apart, Pablo. Look at that. Also 1981. We are Zennials, guys. Not quite Generation X, not quite a millennial. Somewhere right in the middle. Charlie. I mean, I can relate a lot more to a 52-year-old than I can probably a 32-year-old. So you guys. Why don't we do a little location check, guys? Where's everybody from? Where's everybody live right now? Idaho. You're not a hoe, Cap. You seem like a very nice guy. Wow. Estonia, Detroit, Houston, UK, Ocala, Florida. Yep, pretty close to me. Poland, Switzerland. Just south. We have a lot of Floridians in the house. Western New York. I went to school in Buffalo, Josh. You a Bills fan? Ethiopia. Vikram, you're not from Ethiopia. Vikram's from the UK. He's in Ethiopia right now, though. Oahu. I think the person I'm most jealous of is Kiter. I would love to live in Oahu. Florida's nice, but it's kind of a swamp with palm trees. Oahu, on the other hand. Madagascar. Wow. Alabama. Yeah, I love Tennessee. Chuck's our Amish man from Lancaster. Funny story about Oahu. That was supposed to be our honeymoon destination, and then COVID hit. I paid for that whole trip. It got postponed 3 times. And then I wound up losing all my money and not being able to go. Spent like 20 grand on that trip. Never went. Yeah, it sucked. And I went all out, all the nicest hotels. You know, it was going to be something special. Well, Hawaii was like crazy around COVID. COVID. They weren't like letting anybody in. And like, it was so hard to try and plan around. You know, I wasn't big into getting the COVID vaccine because, you know, I'm healthy, young. I didn't really, but I got it because it was required if I wanted to go to Hawaii, and I still didn't go. I did get the wife out of the deal, so she was very bummed as well. Intercourse PA. Got people in the YouTube chat from all over the world as well. Barcelona, Sri Lanka, Mexico, Spain, Poland, Canada. Very cool. Rome. Or not far enough, Chuck. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap up here too. We're going sideways on gold, and we are going sideways on NQ and have been for the last half hour. So not much range to deal with here. We might go lower. If I had to guess, I think we're going lower. Dow's going straight down. ES is retesting lows here. Russell's close to lows. So if I had to pick a direction, I'd say down, but have a wonderful day, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. The only day I'm not streaming this week, guys, is going to be New Year's Day. So January 1st. Otherwise, we're going to have full programming the rest of the week. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. in the premium Discord. If you want to keep trading or keep getting your reps in, trade in a simulator, watch the market, learn the system together, ask questions, guys, why don't you head on over to one of our trading rooms, put it in the chat there. You don't have to go home, but you don't have to stay here. Or wait, no, you don't have to go home, but you can stay here. Great spot to go if you still have time. There's usually a lot of great people in there that can help you out, answer questions. So head on over there. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning. For those of you on YouTube, we'll be live 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the delayed feed. Have a wonderful day, guys. And if you're going to keep trading, manage your risk and